I was at the Super Bowl, and the one disadvantage of being at the Super Bowl is you don't get to see the ads. And they're kind of fun to watch, and they're always fun to rip on, right? And I missed that experience. So slowly but surely, I am getting to them. Here we are on Wednesday, and I still have 2 I haven't talked about, and I'd love to do that with you. Okay, so first of all, Jennifer Say, who, used to work at Levi's and was a star gymnast when she was younger. She started this company, XXXY, and she's been pressuring Nike to try to do an ad, to try to get them to do an ad. Her ad has all these little girls saying, will you stand up for me, Nike? Will you stand up for me? To try to keep boys out of girls' sports. Will you stand up for me? Of course, so Nike does an ad, and it's about girls. Great, we're halfway there. And is it about keeping boys out of their sports? No, it's about how I guess America is full of sexist pigs and girl power. Watch the ad.
You can't be emotional, so be emotional. You can't take credit. You can't speak up. You can't be so ambitious. You can't break records. You can't have any fun. You can't make demands. You can't keep score. You can't stand out. Whatever you do, you can't win. So win.
You can't win, so win, is how the screen reads. I'm sorry, Anna. They missed the boat entirely. That is not today's issue. They are ignoring the elephant in the living room. What do you make of it?
I mean, I would have tweaked it for sure, but not by much, just a little bit. I would have just showcased these incredibly successful, strong, accomplished women without having that tinge of victimhood associated with it.
Yes.
Because these women have accomplished amazing things. They're incredible. And I feel like it kind of takes away from their accomplishments to add that weird victimhood thing to it. Look, this is the reality. Okay. Are there misogynistic people out there? Sure. Yeah, there are. But steamroll them. Okay. Steamroll them like these women did. Okay. They don't control us, and they don't control our destiny. If you're willing to work hard, if you're willing to focus and be persistent, you can do anything you want to do, period. And these women did. So I just, as a woman, I don't want to deal with the incessant labeling of victimhood because of my identity, right? And I think that happens to a lot of different groups.
I went to college from 1988 to 1992, as I'm an old lady. And these were the messages they were telling me when I was 17 through 21 about being a woman in America. You can be emotional, you can be ambitious, you can stand out, you can win. Hello, would you, Nike, 2025 called, and they want an updated ad that matches the issues of the day, like what's happening in girls' sports. And not to be outdone, the NFL decided to drop its own ad for a reason that it remains a mystery to me, that is completely consistent with what we just saw from Nike, trying to highlight what a sexist society we live in. And the ending left me watch.
Enough. Let's settle this once and for all. Your best guy?
Girl.
Whatever. Versus our best guy. The Brad.
Oh, not the Brad. I'm Brad.
I can read.
There you go. You got folded up, Brad. Get her. Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
Leave the past behind. Now it's girls playing flag football against other girls, I think. Let's make girls flag football a varsity sport in all 50 states. Okay, help me out here, because again, this whole thing seems to be set in the 1980s. They've got the razor glasses. The guy's got a mullet. He has the collar turned up. They've got the rock band. And they're trying to pretend that this girl, when playing against a team of the Brads, who are, of course, doofuses, because the left loves to portray men, especially white men, but all men, as just a bunch of clawed doofuses. And she smokes them all which is not how it would actually go at all. I mean, what's actually happening when girls are playing against boys is they're getting hurt, they're getting beaten, they're in danger, they're getting all their teeth knocked out, they're in the pool with the likes of Lia Thomas, and they're getting absolutely crushed by full body lengths. That's what actually happens, because women are at a physical disadvantage. But in this imaginary NFL world, women are crushing the Brad, and guys like him because girl power. And all of this is to promote girl football, which is against other girls, Anna. So help me out. What is the NFL saying here?
I hate this crap. I hate all of this crap. Okay, we just got through with an election cycle that really highlighted significant divisions between men and women. I feel like there's this effort to pit Americans against each other, depending on their identity or based on their identity. I don't see men as the enemy here, okay? I think men in America have their own issues that need to be addressed. Obviously, the male loneliness crisis is a real crisis. If you look at graduation rates, women are graduating at higher rates than men are from higher education, from colleges and institutions like that. And so, look, I just think we need to heal. The country needs to heal. And these divisions based on identity, like, we need to stop taking the bait. Like, I think there's a lot of bait right now, and it's a distraction. And in reality, we need to be hyper-focused on how to improve the material conditions of Americans, period. That is what should be the focus. And look, corporations like Nike are going to put out ads like that because they think that it's going to help them maximize their profits. Sometimes they hit the mark, sometimes they don't. Bud Light, of course. Conservatives decided to rain hell on Bud Light over the whole Dylan Mulvaney thing. I think these companies are probably better off not weighing in on culture war stuff because it only further divides Americans, and you're trying to sell us shoes and sports equipment. Focus on that.
And why wouldn't the NFL, if they want to get girls playing flag football, show girls playing flag football against girls and how fun it is and how competitive and how fierce? Why do you have to make guys into the big loser oafs who, obviously men suck. They're dumb. They're Neanderthals. They're outdated. Why? Why would you do that? Like, that's part of this wokeness, this woke mind virus, as Elon calls it. I mean, we're over it, and we won a whole election in order to send that message. Let me ask you this. There is now a push by the Trump administration who sent a letter to the NCAA and to the body that governs high school sports saying, thanks to Trump's executive order, we can't have boys playing in girls' sports on any NCAA team. But they're saying, not only that, we want you to revoke the medals of the boys who did play and stole the girls' medals over the past years, like Lia Thomas, with whom Riley Gaines had to share her fifth place trophy, who won the 500 meter. He took gold in a women's match. And I have to say, and Riley said look at this, look at the height difference and the size difference. And Riley has said she's totally in favor of this. It's not just about her, it's about all the women she's been fighting for. And so am I. What say you?
I say you're going to put me in trouble, Megyn. You're going to put me in trouble, Megyn. You're going to give me another month of my mentions full of people losing their minds because, it's unfair. I agree. It is unfair. And the vast majority of Americans agree that it's unfair. Only 18% of Americans support the notion of biological males competing against biological females. And so
we're showing Lia Thomas while you talk. Keep going.
Yeah. And I just, look, I disagree with your framing a little bit because at the end of the day, I see the humanity in everyone, including transgender women. And so I want to be respectful to them, but I also want, I want that to be reciprocated. I want some acknowledgement in regard to the biological differences between males and females. And for people who don't think that's a big deal, well, you represent a tiny, tiny, minuscule percentage of Americans who think that it's totally fine for someone to compete against biological females if they're male one day and then identify as female the next day. It's not fair. It's a question of fairness. And if the left has decided that fairness doesn't matter, well, they're going to lose a lot of support. And I think that did hurt them significantly in this last election cycle.
We've been watching, in Connecticut where I live, male athletes who ran as males the season before then switch over to the female team and crush their female competitors who have not been through male puberty, who don't have testosterone and these numbers racing through their bodies. I've interviewed the girls. It's just so unfair. And I actually do think what is fair, here's video of one and such track meet. What is fair is to make those men give back our trophies. We continue to face uncertainty when it comes to the economy, with a perfect storm brewing as Social Security and Medicare hit a breaking point, as the largest generation is hitting retirement. A smaller workforce means a smaller tax base. You pair that with our growing national debt and rising cost of living, and we could have a very big problem on our hands. So what are you doing now to protect your family for the future? Gold can be a safe haven in hard economic times, and Birch Gold makes it easy to diversify a portion of your savings into physical gold. Birch Gold will help you transition an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, and it does not cost you a cent out of pocket. Protect your future today. Text MK to 989898. Get your free info kit on gold and a copy of the ultimate guide for gold in the Trump era with a foreword by Donald Trump Jr. There's no obligation, just information. Birch Gold has earned the trust of countless Americans looking to safeguard their savings. Text my initials MK to the number 989898 today. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.